All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to take a look at one single day, July 28th, 2025, and jump right inside the mind of creator Nicholas Alexander Benson to see what's really going on in there.
So, what fuels a mind like that for a whole day? We're going to follow these amazing threads that connect his dreams, his thoughts on technology, and even his ideas about heroism from the moment he wakes up.
So let's start at the beginning. The day kicks off at 4:17 a.m. And get this, it's not an alarm clock that wakes him. It's a dream, a really vivid one that he immediately writes down, and it kind of sets the tone for the entire day.
Now, this wasn't just some random weird dream. No, this is actually the latest chapter in this ongoing saga that he's been building in his mind. He's got this whole elven village, and in this dream, a new character, an elven Robin Hood, shows up to stir the pot. And he's not just a passenger here. He acts as a lucid lord to deal with the situation.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Look at the thief's motive. This isn't your classic good guy versus bad guy story. The elven Robin Hood is basically a revolutionary. He wants to give the power to the people, to the elves, so they can be their own gods. And that question, who should hold all the power, is going to pop up again and again.
And to actually navigate these wild dream worlds, he's basically built a whole rulebook for himself. Take lucid light, for example. It's this awesome-sounding, reality-bending energy that he can use. Think sparkling purple light, like a galaxy in his hands. It lets him do things like turn a horse to stone or tie up that fief with what he calls starlight ropes.
And you can see him thinking about this stuff even in his own analysis. He actually has this AI-hosted Dreamcast podcast, and he points out that this dream was a real turning point. You know, it wasn't just about fighting monsters anymore. It became about this big philosophical dilemma over whether one person should have all that power. It's like his own subconscious was challenging him.
And you know, this whole idea of power and who gets to control it, it doesn't just stay in his dreams. It spills right over into his waking life, especially when he starts thinking about AI.
So later that morning, you can see in his notes he's getting really hyped about this new paper on something called ASI Arch. I mean, think about it. It's an AI that designs other AIs. It's like AI evolution on hyperdrive. And for him, this isn't scary at all. It's a huge step toward a much brighter future.
And this quote really gets to the heart of it all. He straight up calls himself an accelerationist. Basically, he wants AI to develop as fast as humanly, or I guess artificially, possible, because he's all in on the good it can bring.
But he's not just thinking about this in some abstract, philosophical way. He's also a total nerd about how it works in the real world. You can see him breaking down the AI browser wars, right? He's looking at Edge and Chrome, and what he's really excited for is for these things to become truly agentic. You know, to not just answer your questions, but to actually go and do stuff for you. So you've got this theme of power structures bubbling up in his dreams and in his thoughts on tech. And where does it all come together? Well, in his creative writing. This is where he gets to be the one who builds and breaks entire worlds of gods and heroes.
Okay, check out the timestamp. 10:33 a.m. He's teaming up with an AI, Gemini Nova, to brainstorm a story. And this isn't some long, drawn-out process. He goes from a spark of an idea to a fully published story on his Substack, all in a matter of hours. It's pretty incredible. In the villain he creates, this mummy queen named Mother Madness, her first line says it all. She looks at all these powerful heroes and calls them temporary gods. Sound familiar? It's the exact same idea from his dream, now playing out in his fiction. The story itself, Impervious, is basically a perfect reflection of everything we've seen so far. You've got the old guard, the established heroes, who suddenly look really fragile as they're taken down one by one. And then you have the new generation, this kid Ian, who's told to just hide and wait it out. But he doesn't. He steps up. It's that challenge to the old system all over again.
And this whole hero theme, it's not just for made-up worlds. It actually shows up in how he thinks about real life, right in his own hometown.
Later on in the day, he finds out about this new guy, Matman, who's starting his own real-life superhero thing in Huntsville.
And this makes him think about his own past, from over a decade ago when he was doing something similar with his group. But instead of being territorial about it, he's actually proud. It's like he's watching the torch being passed. And his reaction is what's so cool here. He actually gives the new guy some advice, tells him to focus on charity. And that really shows you how his own idea of being a hero has evolved. That heroic impulse is still there. But now, for him, it's about his daily walk racking up charity miles for Feeding America.
Okay, so after this absolutely packed day with all these different ideas and projects flying around, how does he process it all? Well, he has this really unique daily ritual he calls the highlight comic. But hang on, before we get to that, one last thing. At 5:53 p.m., he hops on Fortnite and snags his 11th Crown Victory Royale. And yeah, it's a game, but for him, it's another win to put on the board for the day. It's a small, satisfying victory, but it's about to be logged right next to the big ones.
And here's the final product. This is his personal summary of the day. The highlight comic just weaves everything together. The philosophical fight in his dream, the real-world charity, the huge creative win with his new story, a great date with his partner, Ashley, and yeah, even the Fortnite win. It all gets pulled into this one single narrative of a great day.
So, what you're really seeing here is that by consciously tracking all these different threads, a single day transforms from just a schedule of events into a story of creation and personal evolution. It shows how the stuff we dream about, the tech we use, and the stories we tell are all so deeply connected. And it really makes you think, right? If you documented your day like this, what kind of creative threads would you discover?